Oh, coming together a bit today. Uh,
Right.
getting my shit together.
Join the crowd.
uh, yeah, interesting times. Interesting times. Uh, I got a phone call yesterday. A fellow wants to from a weekly women's magazine. It's one of the bigger ones in the country, and they want to do a two-page spread on three people, three women who are survivors and dealing with the Royal Commission. So I've got to make that call shortly. Um, I've spoken to four, and I've got three of them who are interested, and perhaps even the fourth one. Um, so that's interesting, and I've got another interesting email. I know I've had a request to call another fellow from an organisation. So in there, but that, and I've jammed a fucking stick up this Royal Commission where I can. Um, fucking, you go to a so-called bloody meeting with the Royal Commission, and you've got a fucking commissioner who's carrying on playing charades, just like you get when you go to visit with the Catholic Church. You've got some fuckwit in there doing fucking pantomime and bullshit. The last place you need to do this is at meeting with the Royal Commission, I figure.
Right.
So I've expressed my fucking outrage at being presented with bullshit. Who fucking needs that sort of bullshit in their life? Enough of that shit going on around us without having it come from the bloody Royal Commission. Well, fucking ah,
I thought you had a good. I thought you.
I
Maybe I'm.
did, I did. I got a couple of points, and I needed to bloody well. I was just fucking stunned by it. I needed to work my way through it for a while, and I've had a couple of sessions with my counsellor there, and they were the bloody things that I had to bloody well work out and struggle with. Fucking horseshit.
Yeah.
So it's been reasonably hectic in that regard. Um, um, in there. So yeah, get it sorted out somewhere.
So, last time you said you talked to the Royal Commission, right?
Yep.
Okay, and you seemed to feel pretty good about that conversation.
There were a couple of there were some good points in it. Um, yeah, when I went back and I looked back over it as to I went there prepared to have a sensible conversation, and I didn't get into that. Um, and that really got under my skin, I think, and yeah, um, that was the bloody issue. So we'll see where that goes. See where that
What?
goes. What that
Where? What?
happens.
What were they trying to gain by having you there to talk about all this? I mean, what
Well,
are
when you
they just doing it for? Like, okay, it's like what they're doing now. The Catholic Archdiocese, they're saying, well, we're doing this and this and this, and that's just the way it is, and blah blah blah.
pretty well, that was the attitude that he took. Um, um, it's a bit hard. Um, it's a bit hard. He was not fucking interested in anything I had to offer. Now,
God.
yeah, well, and when you come away from a meeting like that, and you say to yourself, well, what did I achieve? You know, of the things I had in mind. that I'd sat down and I'd made notes and all the rest of that for. Um, what did I achieve out of that? And what I achieved out of that was fucking nothing.
That's
Um,
sad.
yeah, well, that's not what it was meant to be about.
Right.
Their letter said that it was an opportunity for that sort of conversation, and it never took place. I brought up stuff to do with data and electronic, internet and social media, and this bloke looks at me with a blank stare, and do you know what his answer was?
What?
To shrug his shoulders and open his hands there in that empty fucking statement and shrug his shoulders and grin and say, I don't know anything about that. Now,
What a dickhead.
what a fucking dickhead. What a dickhead. And and then twice more further on, he then took over the bloody meeting and went asking questions. And twice, when I gave him my answer, I told him about the experience. Um, he's sitting there in his fucking $4,000 suit, supposed to be bulletproof and all the fucking rest of it. And what does he do? But he slumps his head right down onto the fucking desk.
What?
Yes. Now, this is not the sort of stuff. After you've been to a few counsellors, psychologists, and you see this sort of shit, it's only just before Christmas that Noreen, a friend of mine, I'd spoken with her, and she's got a bloody highly paid $300 an hour counsellor.
Who? Let me ask you a question. Who put this royal commission together?
The
Is this
government
just?
puts it together, you see, and the government
And
chooses the people
all right.
to
So
be the commissioners.
okay. And so I thought my thing was is that this was put together just for the archdiocese crap.
No,
But that
this is for Australia wide.
okay. All right. And what are they? What is the Royal Commission? What are they trying to achieve? What are they
Well,
trying to get with?
they're supposed to be bloody um, resolving this issue.
And it doesn't seem to me that they're
Well,
really get.
they are getting there. They are getting there in places, but
Okay.
this was an individual commissioner,
Oh, okay.
right? It
All
wasn't the
right.
whole thing. This is one of those individuals, and I think this individual he's either had too much exposure to the abuses that have gone on, or and that says there's a lack of support. The fucking support that he's got's not good enough, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, because it's just not appropriate for a man in that position to go doing the fucking Catholic play acting. Well, you know Kay, and
Oh yeah.
you've
Yeah.
probably heard of her story about the guy with the card talking about the $1 million. It's all about the money and all that bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was a pantomime, not much different than that. And I've had this experience several times with these pricks, um, and it's just not fucking appropriate. These are
Why?
meant to be professionals.
Well, sure. Well, so why aren't they doing everything in their power to say go back to archdiocese and say okay? Uh,
I don't think there's that sort of conversation going on.
oh, okay.
Um,
So what are they? I guess I'm missing a point here. I hear you. I hear
yep,
you loud and clear.
yep,
But if these people were appointed to take care of this problem,
yep.
then why don't they just go back to them, to the archdiocese, and say, okay, we've heard this, we heard that. Best thing for you guys to do is just go ahead and pay everybody.
Yeah, one would think that's the that's what you would expect in a normal situation, but you're not dealing with normal people.
Right.
You know, this is Catholic bishops. The arrogance of these people, they in
Oh,
their
I know that firsthand.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, so they're not going to do that. Um, and damned if I know where this guy's head's at, but just not just not appropriate.
Right.
He's meant to be the professional with all the fucking backup, with all the support in the world. He's paid fucking, I don't know, $100,000 or more a year, right?
Jeez.
He's
The
got it
dude.
all on his side, and
Right.
I'm the one sitting there wanting to have a conversation about data, you know, about how we can do stuff to help survivors do the right thing, etc. And I've got this cunt on the other end of on the other side of the table playing fucking pantomimes, banging his head and fucking shrugging his shoulders. What man in business today you go to sit down to a meeting with and you use the word data and he shrugs his fucking shoulders and says he's ignorant of that. Yeah,
That is hilarious.
you'd want to bang your head on the fucking table, wouldn't you? At that point.
Well, I'll tell you what. You probably held your composure better than I would
I
because
didn't. I had to look away on one occasion when he had his head down on the table because I wanted to vomit. I
right.
thought if I watch this cunt here doing this shit, I'm going to throw up. So I had to look away.
Wow.
Um, but I think I stayed fairly calm. I was calm all the way through it um, in there. But this is just just not appropriate.
No,
Um,
not at all.
and so I've
Because if
vent.
he was a businessman, he wouldn't be in business very long acting like that.
Well, what the fuck? The man's admitted to being totally ignorant. Totally. Not even enough to say, "Oh, I understand data a little bit, you know, but I'm out of my depth here with what you're saying." You know, something like that.
Sure,
Um,
he should have asked you to go ahead and go on with this
yeah, yeah,
to help
yeah.
him understand
What can we
what you're
learn from
talking
this?
about.
How can you help
Yeah.
out? Blah. Who should I talk to? You know, is there something I'm missing here? Not him. No, he just shrugged his fucking shoulders, grinned like a fucking idiot.
But now, was he the only one? It was just you and him, or
Was he and I? I had a counsellor as support, and he
Mhm.
had a lawyer on his side of the table.
what does
Um,
that tell you right there?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a joke.
it was fucking bizarre. And I've had this sort of bullshit shows, pantomime shows, previously, and it was only just before Christmas that I talking with a good friend, and she's trying to deal with this stuff in her early childhood. Um,
You know
and
what? I wish all you guys can get together and just do a class action lawsuit.
I've got two calls in with lawyers there. They're not ready yet to do it here. Um, I'm going to chase up one of them and
Because you know as well as I do, Mister Brown, that the more people you have,
yep, I know,
um, and then they're going
I
to say,
know.
okay, we got all these
But do
people.
you realise, Joey, that you could go out and I could tell this story to a number of people. For argument's sake, I'll give you an example, and this defies fucking logic to me. The Royal Commission released a consultation paper, and they talking about redress. And as part of that, they put forward a couple of scenarios to
Hold on 1 second, Mr. Brown. Hold on, Mr. Brown.
you're right.
Oh, money. Oh shit, I'm sorry, brother. What's up? Yeah. Hold on. Do you have any No, I'll just stop that. Okay, I'll just go ahead. We gotta go out to the 20 out. Sorry about that. Just kidding. All right, I'll get it to you.
To say You know, oh, you're being greedy. Being greedy, my ass.
Yeah.
This, you know, they make me cross and angry. But anyway, I've got my $7.5 million discussion out there, which is quite all right. Yeah. So lots of stuff been happening, lots and lots of stuff um, in that regard. I've got a bloody day full to work with today, and the heat's back on again. Was supposed to be only going to be cool today. Um, no, it's still only going to be 26, but it's already warming up. It's very
Right.
early in the morning. Um, but anyway, that's just the way it goes. Um,
Now, how many people do you know personally that has gone through what we've been going through that lives in Australia
that live in Australia that I'm aware of,
that you know of that you
hundreds, hundreds,
that you
Joey.
how about the is there how about personally knowing somebody?
Personally, that I've spoken to over 100.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to think what they call it when you go to court
A
and you
class
lose.
action. You want
Yeah, class action.
a class
Why don't
action against a class is what's needed. I know
right?
what's needed, and the class is the clerical class and religious. Um, and yeah, I've made the call to a law firm in there. They haven't come back to me yet, so that's on my agenda to work with
Good.
um, in there. The good thing out of the meeting with the Royal Commission is that it's got 3 more years to run.
Right.
That's the best news out of all of that in there. Um, so we have that in our favour in there. I don't think I'm going to be looked on as being the golden child by the Royal Commission at the moment.
Oh no, no. I could have told you that before you. Yeah, that's funny. That is funny.
And I personally don't give a fuck about that. Um, what the hell? They can have their emotions all over it. This is about children being raped by
Right.
these bastards. The crime's covered up, and their right to justice for their entire fucking life has been denied them. Don't talk to me about $65,000 for something like that.
Right.
Anyway, um, yeah. Um, anyway,
Will there be
and all
anybody
I've got
there?
to use, Joey, is words. That's all I've got to use against them.
Right.
And I don't care
So
whether I frighten the shit out of them or not. Um,
I would really love to Skype with one of them or something.
uh, do you know, I can sit here and talk with you. I can get on the phone and I can pick any one of, I don't know, more than 100 people, and I can get a sensible conversation. Right? I can sit down with people there, and I've talked with people who've been through absolute horror, and they don't fucking play out pantomime acting bullshit like this fucking Royal Commissioner did. Uh,
Right.
you know,
Right.
we're supposed to be dealing with professionals.
Oh,
Professional.
far
What's
from it.
fucking professional about that?
No, they don't even
Horseshit.
care. They
Horseshit.
don't even care. They could give two shits, John.
Oh, I don't know whether it's they don't give two shits or they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
And it's really hard for me. I got my GED. I have no college experience.
Yep.
Really, no high school experience. But for them to act the way that commissioner did,
Mm,
um,
mm, mm.
just really blows my mind. And he's the one making over six figures a year, right?
Yeah, yeah. Blew my mind. I was. It was one of those things where you have to put it away and process it because you need to come out of it at the other end and say, yeah, this was. You're so fucking stunned by the bullshit that's gone on that you're speechless. You just
And
can't respond to that shit.
who's the head of the commission?
A fellow by the name of Peter McClellan.
Have you had direct contact with this
No, I
person?
haven't. No, not likely to. I don't think. But
I loved it. You should find out where me and you and one of them can Skype, all three of us, so we can talk about.
that's called collaborating with the enemy from their perspective, and they would. I don't know.
The
They would
only
see it as some sort of collusion or some super spy fucking scenario. I
oh
don't
god,
know. I don't know what. Yeah, it's. Um, while they can look at blackmail, they can look at bribery, they can look at coercion, they can look at intimidation, all on the other side. But then if they were to pick up the phone and talk to you one to one like that, they would find something wrong with doing that.
oh, this commission seems like it's a bunch of shit.
It's got its good points and it's got its bad points, and I just hit one of its fucking bad points, one of the really shitty part
Right.
um, in there. The benefit of it is that it's not halfway through yet, and
Okay, let me ask you a question real quick. Who holds them accountable for it? The Royal Commission.
well, no one. I don't
So
know.
they're so
Only
I'm sure.
themselves, I suppose, internally for
I
themselves.
mean, the Royal Commission. There has to be someone that's. All right, for
Well, the
instance,
government, I suppose, in a manner, but they're an independent body.
and who
But
put them together?
the government selected the people and gave them the authority
Okay. So
in there.
is the government there really want to take care of this problem? And
Oh shit, no! You've seen who our prime minister is. Our prime minister is Tony Abbott. You've probably seen about him on
yeah,
American television.
yep.
So no, he won't have any interest in that. His interest is in covering it up because it's his priests that belong to his religion that are the mainstay of the problem. Um, and no, he would minimise if the Royal Commission said um, pay every survivor X amount of dollars. He'd be the first one to stand up and say, oh, that's a lot of money. I don't know whether they could afford that. If we cut it in half, maybe. And, oh, that's still a lot of money. We'll need to cut that in half again. That's
I,
that's the sort of
I
shit that'll
guess
go on.
after listening, we've talked about a lot of stuff.
Hmm.
My understanding how things worked and what I did in my personal issues was totally different.
Yeah.
But the best thing for you guys to do out in Australia is get every contact that you have that has gone through what we have, and then go to, because I'll tell you what, your attorney or whoever.
Actually, I think it's probably got more possibility of taking it to the United Nations,
Right.
and because we've got an entitlement to be dealt with professionally, and this guy wasn't professional.
No, not at all.
Long way from it.
Sounds
Now,
like a fucking jerk off.
whatever his fucking problem was, it's a wrong fucking place to be doing it. Take it home and do that at home if you want to. Get out in a fucking dunny out the back shed and bang your head against the wall if that's what you need to do. But you don't do that in a meeting with somebody like me and other survivors.
Right.
You know?
The only thing I base my things on is I got to move my computer in the other room. Um, I noticed in the states, United States, when one person sees them, like me, I got 60 grand. My attorney got 30 grand.
Yep.
But the people in different cities or states, I just say, in the United States,
Mm.
they got like 100, 200, 300 people together at once.
Yes.
Then did a class action lawsuit. But when you only got one person like
One
me,
person, they screw you over every time.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes. You go to
But
California, 700 people, and people got over $1 million, and some of them were
it was
flagged
a
up.
yeah, it
Uh,
was a million seven. It was a
1.7.
million seven per people. 700,000 went to the attorney, and the $1 million went to the client.
That's right. Or 1.2 went to the client, I think.
Yeah, something
Um,
like that.
and
You
I
know
know
what I'm
one
saying,
fellow who was flagged in there, and he because of his circumstance got double.
right?
So they'd worked that out there.
I
Um,
just want you guys to fucking stick it to them so goddamn hard they'd be begging for fucking Vaseline. I
yeah,
ain't shitting you, dude.
you
I
know,
think if I would have done everything different, I think I would have done a lot of things different. But that's here and there to say,
to
you
put
know.
up this bloody bullshit story that says $4.3 billion is a lot of money. Can they afford it? And they've forgotten what they're there for, what they're about. It's not about whether the churches and institutions can afford it. It's about whether it's going to happen again. Never again is what it's about. Children have to be made safe or protected because they're vulnerable to this bullshit. Um, yeah. No, I'm I got fairly fired up. Fuck them. They cost me 2 fucking sessions with my counsellor. These pricks. This fucking ignorant prick in there. Um, and a visit with my doctor. Wasted my fucking time for 2 weeks of my life over his fucking pantomime. What a bunch of shit.
Yeah, it sounds like a crock of shit.
Crock of shit, all right. Fucking amateur. This is the stuff you get from amateurs. This is not
Yeah,
professional. Nothing fucking professional about it.
no,
You know? And
not at all.
we're supposed to be perfect in every fucking way because they're hovering, looking for any indiscretion possible that they can slam down on you and say, look what this bloke's done. Poor bastard, he's a victim of abuse. Look how it's affected him. Uh, fuck. Shit. Shit. What can you say? What can you say?
I
Ah,
don't know. Do you know anybody there that runs a paper? You know, the daily paper or anything like that?
I got contacted by a um, I guess he's a reporter from a weekly magazine yesterday. I think that was. So I haven't quite worked that out, and I've got another
John,
contact.
I gotta get off of here.
Okay,
Um, I'm off Thursday. I don't know
okay.
which day that would be for you.
It'll be Friday morning here. Yeah.
Okay. I want to continue our conversation about this.
Okay.
And if there's anything I could do to help, or like I said, if I need to. Have you talked to Kay yet as far as letting her know it's okay for you guys to talk about me?
I haven't yet. No, I haven't because life's been a bit hectic with trying to
Sure.
process all
And,
this other shit.
and I understand that, but
Yeah.
I just want to let you know that no matter
No,
what,
she's in the middle of the this toxic shit is still affecting her and her relationship with her daughter. And so Kay's been up in the high desert in the Sierra Nevadas, and
okay.
she went there to try and find a bit of tranquility and hasn't found it. So she's pulling up roots and moving. I think she's heading towards more bright lights somewhere, um, in the hope of furthering getting her story out either into a movie or something like so.
Well,
Um,
you can also look up City of Angels too.
yes, yes,
And
I
Kay,
do regularly keep up with what she's
okay, I
doing.
don't know if you've seen the article that she wrote on me several years ago.
She, I think I did. I think I did
Okay.
because
She did an interview with my attorney on the phone.
right.
All right.
Okay.
Well, listen, I don't want to cut you
No,
short.
go on. No, no,
Uh,
you're right. I've got things
uh,
I got to do too.
okay, well, and then we'll talk more Thursday. And if there's
Okay.
anything else I can do for you, if you think of anything, please let me know.
A quick thought. A quick thought. I might. This conversation's of. You're the first sane fucking person that I've had a chance to vent my spleen about this, I might like to send this into the Royal Commission and say, this is how I think about this.
Okay.
You up with okay with that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't know
I,
who
I have
you
no
are.
I have no problem. I have no problem helping you out as much as I can.
Okay. Okay.
I wish I was there to stick sticks up all their asses, but I'll probably end up in prison, and I don't know what kind of prisons you guys have.
Yeah, I know, yeah, I won't go there. It's all, yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Whatever
Okay.
you need, I will get a hold of you Thursday.
Okay.
All right. You take care, Mr. Brown.
Talk to you, Joey.
All right. Bye bye.